Welcome back to Barn Built Beaters. In the last few episodes, we cut our frame in half, took out the chunk we didn't need, and then welded it back together. In this episode, we will be removing this bed and putting it onto our new frame. But in order to do so, we need a tool to safely lift it off, as well as safely put it onto the new frame. So let me show you my design, and then later on, I'll show you the pieces needed and how to weld it up. How this tool works is we have a big piece of square stock with two smaller pieces that are able to slide in and out. Then we have another piece of square stock that are welded at the ends, and these pieces are just responsible for distributing the load. So in order to set this up, you lay it down horizontally like we have it now, and then we will lift it up. Probably an engine hoist would be used to set this up initially, just to take some of the weight off. You lift it up. You put one arm underneath the bed rail inside the bed, and then you slide this piece out and put it underneath the bed rail as well and tighten your set screw. Then, since your engine hoist is here, it would be ready to pick off and then place onto the new frame. Now that we've gone over how the tool works, let me show you the pieces involved and how to assemble it so you can make it yourself in your own garage. We have a 2-inch piece of square stock with an 1/8 inch wall, and then a little bit smaller than an 1 3/4 inches with the same wall diameter. The key point here is that these smaller pieces should be able to fit inside of the bigger piece. We have triangle plate steel that we will be welding onto this plate. Once it's welded, a bolt can be ran through and a chain can be ran around it, which is then connected to your engine hoist to lift the bed off. So now that I've explained it, let me finish welding it and we can test it out. I am beyond happy with my welds. These are probably my best welds I've ever done. Granted, it's thick, but they're pretty consistent and pretty looking. That actually sucks. I gotta see if I can make that. Before we can remove the bed, we first need to mark where the center point of the hub lines up on the bed. That way we can easily line things up once it's onto our new frame. So I have a laser line lined up onto the center point of the hub showing on the bed. We'll put this blue painter's tape on here so it can easily show up and we can mark it. And now we have a mark on this side to make sure when we put it onto the new frame, it'll line up perfectly how it is now. I've never taken off that tailgate before, so I wasn't quite sure how to actually take it off, but apparently you just tilt it to the side and then it slowly allows a little bit bigger of a gap up top, and you can sneak the gate out and pull it out that way. And then you saw me carry it somewhere safe. Now it's time to get our engine hoist hooked up to our tool to remove the bed. I already explained how to set this tool up, so I've already done so, but I noticed that it's not perfectly center because my engine hoist doesn't have quite enough reach. So what I've done is I've attached these ratchet straps to keep the bed from falling forward, and I've added a little bit of cardboard here to protect the bed from touching the cylinder here. So now I have it actually floating a little bit right now. I'm just going to continue creeping it upwards, and then once I feel safe and confident, I'm going to transfer it over to the other frame and see how it looks on that. Well, we got the bed up onto the new frame, and this was pretty sketchy. I was worried about the bed falling or scraping up the paint or something like that. So if you guys are doing this in your garage, before you paint it, this is probably what you want to do, but unfortunately that wasn't my case. So it's propped up on blocks right now. It looks absolutely silly, but now we have a good way of seeing what we need to do next, where we need to cut, and what things we need to fabricate. So that is going to wrap up this episode. The whole episode was getting the bed over here. The next episode will be fabricating body mounts to actually make this sit completely on the frame by itself, and actually so it doesn't look ridiculous like it does now. So if you liked what you saw in today's video, be sure to subscribe, be sure to like, and leave me a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one.